Hi, designing forms in InDesign can sometimes be a tedious task. Today I'm going to demonstrate a few tools that can help you get through it quite a bit more easily. So to start with, we have this text and it's set as our basic paragraph style. What I want to do is leave more room for the person who's filling it out to actually be able to write. So what I'm going to do is double click on basic paragraph and simply go to indents and spacing and set the space after quite a bit larger. Let's go really big just so that for demonstration's sake I'm going to go to 1 pica here. So this is nice and big. Now the next thing we're going to do is set a paragraph rule the full width of the page here. I just have a really small page just for demonstration's sake. So what I'm going to do is create a new paragraph style and set a paragraph rule. So I'm going to create the new style. So I'm going to cancel out of here. I want to show you that when I click on the new paragraph style button, I always hold Option while clicking on it so that it brings up the dialog right away. So I'm going to call this paragraph rule, and now I can go in here. I'm going to go to the paragraph rules section, and this gets a bit cramped here. I'm going to go rule below, turn it on, and then you see our rule show up. 1 point is a bit thick. I'm going to set it to 1/2 point, and then I'm going to set the left indent bigger so that the word address doesn't look like it's underlined. So I'm moving it in, I'm clicking all the way up. You can hold shift to click in bigger increments. So that's good. So we have a paragraph rule set up here. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and that set that word with the rule. Now the second one is more complicated because if I set, there's actually 2 words on the line. If I set it with the paragraph rule, there's no way to make a paragraph rule start and then stop and then start again on the same line, because paragraph rules apply to whole paragraphs. So we need to treat this a little bit differently. So I'm going to move the paragraph styles palette out of here and bring in the character styles palette. So one of the first, I'm going to try and zoom in here a little bit so you can see what's going on. So I have hidden characters turned on. So if I think it's going to be out of, yeah, it's out of view here. It's Option Command I will turn on these blue characters so that you can see what you're working with. So again, zoom back out. I'm going to move this over so we can see it. So there's a space in here. So it says city colon space and then province. So I'm going to go ahead and hit tab on the keyboard. So that actually put in a really small tab there. But now it's space and tab. And after this colon, I'm going to put in a tab also. So now what we can do, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we get the full width. I'm going to select the whole line and I'm going to do Shift Command T, or else I can go type and choose tab. See, it's Shift Command T right here, and the tabs ruler comes up. The first thing I'm going to do is simply, there's a whole pile of tabs set in here. I just want to get rid of them. So I'm going to go to the flyout menu and just say clear all so we can start from a fresh slate. And then do you ever notice this this little magnet here? That actually, there's a little magnet in the tab ruler. That actually positions the tab ruler right above the text that's selected. So that's quite convenient so things are lined up. So I'm going to go ahead and click in the tab ruler and set this one to 20 picas, I guess, right there. So that moved over province. And then I'm going to set the next one to go almost to the end of the line. Yeah, that's right. So go all the way to 44 picas. So now we have city colon, there's a space character, and then a tab. And then I believe I'm going to have to put a space character before province, and we'll see why in a second. Okay. So now what I want to do to make these underlines is select the tab and then create a new character style. So I'm going to hold the Option key and click New Character Style, and I'm going to bring this up here and I'm going to call it Underline. And all I'm going to do is go to the underline options on the left, turn underlining on, and I'll move this out of the way so you can see here that underline is, now it's underlined. So this is much better than putting a whole pile of underscores in here, going Shift hyphen where it puts an underscore. That puts little dashes. It's really not nice. So here I can set the stroke weight, the type of line I want, the offset, which is really nice. So it offsets it from the baseline. So you can actually make the line lower or higher. Okay, so that's really nice to have. You can position it exactly the way you want. I always set the color of it to the text color. So if ever we changed the text color to another, the underlines would change at the same time. So that's enough for now. I'm just going to go ahead and click OK. And now we can zoom in and see, first of all, I'll move things out of the way, that this is a nice clean line. There are no breaks in it or anything. I'll show you how people usually do it. I'll go to telephone here and put my cursor, put a space, and people type shift dash or shift hyphen and put underlines. Depending on the font you're using, sometimes you get breaks in here. In this case, it's actually doing it okay. You get breaks, but now I cannot control the thickness of this line. Oh, see, you see the breaks now. There are breaks depending on your zoom factor. So this is really gross. It's really hard to control. So you don't want to do it this way. Watch how easy this is now. I can select a tab and go to my character style and say underline, and that's it. It's done. And now when I change my tab width, it changes it for me. It goes ahead. So if I select this and move this over, the tabbed line, the underline, moves with it. So this is the proper way of doing it. All I need to do now is hit tab on any line that I want. Look here, this is the telephone at home. We're going to put the telephone at work on the same. Here, let's just change the text here a little bit. So there's telephone at home and work, and I'm going to hit tab. And then the date is here. I'll hit tab. Email address, I'll hit tab. And watch this. I'm going to show you a really cool trick. Imagine that this form was super long and you had a whole pile of tabs. I'm going to say go to the edit menu, go find change, and I'm going to say find a tab character. This is really cool. Find a tab character and change the format to the character style called underline. Okay, I'm doing this a bit quickly. Just watch the video again if it was too fast. I'm going to go OK. Make sure I'm in this document. I'm searching the whole document, and I'm going to say change all. And now 6 tabs were switched to the underline character style. So I'm going to get out of here, and look at that. They're all set to underline. So all I need to do is select the text in question, bring up my tab bar, and then set my tabs the way I want them to be. So I can go ahead and line things up perfectly now. Look at that. So that's completely perfect. I'll hide the bar, and look at this. Look at how nice that is. Everything lines up perfectly. It's all flexible. It all works really quickly and really easily. So I hope this helps you design forms more consistently and more quickly.